Welcome to Infernal History, your ultimate destination for exploring the fascinating world of weapons throughout time. From the primitive tools of early humans to the sophisticated arms of the present day, we dive deep into the history, evolution, and impact of weaponry on different cultures, nations, and everyday society. If you're passionate about the evolution of weapons and their historical significance, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and leave us a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts and suggestions for future episodes. Hey there, history buffs and weapon enthusiasts. Today, we're delving into one of the most influential weapons in history. The weapon that helped forge the modern world as we know it, the musket. A weapon that revolutionized warfare and altered the course of history. From its origins to its impact on global conflicts, we'll explore how the musket played a crucial role in shaping the modern world. Before we begin, a quick disclaimer. This video contains discussions of historic battles and warfare, which may include sensitive material. Viewer discretion is advised. However, we hope this exploration will provide you with a deeper understanding of the musket's historical significance. The musket, a type of firearm, played a crucial role in shaping the course of history from the 16th to the 19th century. In this episode, we'll explore its origins, technological advancements, and the profound effects it had on warfare, culture, and society. So buckle up and let's journey back in time. Did you know that a single weapon could give physically weaker forces the power to dominate their enemies? Stay tuned to discover how the musket did just that. The musket, a type of firearm, played a crucial role in shaping the course of history from the 16th to the 19th century. In this episode, we'll explore its origins, technological advancements, and the profound effects it had on warfare, culture, and society. So buckle up and let's journey back in time. Our story begins in the early 16th century when the first muskets were developed in Europe, initially as a heavier variant of the arquebus, capable of penetrating plate armor. The name musket originally referred to a small cannon, but it soon came to describe a handheld firearm. This is where the term musketeer, originally a French word of different spelling, came from. A form of soldier equipped with this type of gun and being the precursor to the word rifleman, which is now used to describe the infantry of today. The earliest muskets were matchlocks, which used a burning wick to ignite the gunpowder. Its origins can be traced back to Spain, where the need for a more effective infantry weapon led to its creation. The musket quickly spread across Europe, revolutionizing military tactics and battlefield dynamics, wreaking a newfound havoc on the battlefields. Initially, muskets were heavy and cumbersome, requiring a matchlock mechanism to ignite the gunpowder. Despite these drawbacks, their ability to penetrate armor made them a game changer, as they represented a significant leap forward from previous weapons like the crossbow. The musket's effectiveness was demonstrated in numerous battles, such as the Battle of Pavia in 1525, where Spanish forces decimated French knights, proving its capabilities in the field of combat. Battles became more organized, with soldiers lining up in rows to fire volleys at the enemy. This new form of warfare required discipline and training, leading to a new structure of armies. In time, the musket's influence extended beyond Europe. In the 17th and 18th centuries, European powers used these guns to expand their enemies. England, Spain, France, and Portugal relied heavily on these weapons during their conquests. As technology progressed, so did the musket. The introduction of the flintlock mechanism in the 17th century marked a major improvement. Flintlock muskets were more reliable and easier to use, making them the standard infantry weapon in European armies. If you're enjoying this deep dive into the history of the musket, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned until the end to see our overall rating of this iconic weapon. The impact of the musket wasn't limited to Europe. It spread across the globe, influencing conflicts in Asia, Africa, and the Americas. Let's take a closer look at how the musket shaped different regions. In Asia, muskets were adopted by various empires and kingdoms. The Japanese samurai, for example, initially resisted firearms, but eventually integrated muskets into their arsenals. changing the nature of samurai warfare forever. The most significant example, though, would have to be the invasion of the New Worlds. European settlers and soldiers brought muskets to places like the Americas, Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific Islands, as well as Southern Asia. The indigenous populations, unfamiliar with firearms, were often overwhelmed and overpowered, leading to profound cultural and societal changes, creating what is now referred to as colonialism. For good or bad, it established a Western dominance in a mostly tribal world, who were themselves frequently involved in feuding battles of control over centuries of their own. Let's not forget, though, that war and the nature of humans to attempt to gain dominance utilizing weaponry and violence has been a part of our evolution as old as humans themselves. The somewhat perfect set of circumstances of thousands of years has led to some societies being able to advance by technological means quicker than others, through sheer luck. A great book to read up on this concept is Guns, Germs, and Steel by Jared Diamond. He delves deep into the topic of how different cultures developed and others remained more of a tribal nature. Its influence exceeded just war, as it advanced hunting practices, leading to a greater abundance of food, allowing families to grow in number due to nutritional abundance, self-defense from predators, making exploration safer, and even fashion. The musket played a pivotal role in numerous historical conflicts. During the American Civil War, both Union and Confederate forces used rifled muskets, which offered greater accuracy and range than their smooth-bore predecessors. This technological advancement contributed to the war's high casualty rates. In Asia, Japan's adoption of muskets during the Sengoku period helped them dominate over Korea and other neighboring regions. The musket also made its mark in Africa, where European colonizers used it to subjugate local tribes, including the mighty Zulu nation, who were an amalgamation of different tribes that were unified by fierce leader Shaka. They were a formidable army at the time and created an immense amount of trouble for the overseas invaders. What made the musket so revolutionary? Firstly, it allowed soldiers to engage enemies at a distance, reducing the risk of hand-to-hand combat. The introduction of rifling, which added spiral grooves inside the barrel, increased accuracy and range. Gunpowder improvements and the development of the flintlock mechanism made muskets more reliable and faster to reload. The bayonet, a blade attached to the muzzle, transformed the musket into a versatile weapon for both shooting and melee combat, as did the weight and sturdiness of the weapon, allowing it to be used as a blunt force instrument when an enemy was at close range, making it good for close quarter engagement as well. Understanding the history of the musket helps us appreciate how far we've come and the impact it had on the world. Despite its advantages, the musket had its drawbacks. Early models were prone to misfires and backfiring, reports of an average misfire once every 9 reloads at times of its evolution, posing a danger to the user and at times even causing severe injury. A common practice was to look away at the time of firing to minimize the chances of this happening, in turn lowering the effectiveness of the gun. Loading a musket was a time-consuming process, leaving soldiers vulnerable during battle. A common tactic to overcome this was to give cover to the soldiers reloading by having teams firing in sequence to protect their fellow comrades during the cumbersome reload process. The effective range of a musket was limited compared to modern firearms, and accuracy was often inconsistent and having no sight or scope like the modern rifle. Over time, advancements in weaponry, such as the introduction of repeating rifles, rendered the musket obsolete. The musket's impact on tribal cultures was profound. In many regions, the sight and sound of a musket installed fear and awe. In Africa and the Americas, the musket was often referred to as a thunderstick, believed to grant godlike powers to its wielder. In early battles with these tribes, having known the concept of a firearm, hearing a loud bang with a cloud of smoke, followed by a fellow warrior dropping, left them dazed, trying to comprehend what had just taken place. This effect in itself instilled fear, disarray, and the flight freeze condition during battles. This psychological advantage allowed smaller, technologically advanced forces to dominate larger, physically stronger, less equipped opponents like those of the Pacific Islands and New Zealand, who are known for their immense strength and prowess. The musket's influence on power dynamics and social structures cannot be overstated. Now, let's rate the musket based on several criteria. The effective range of a musket varied from 50 to 100 yards, depending on the model and conditions. Loading a musket took approximately 15 to 20 seconds, making rapid fire impossible. Muskets required significant training to use effectively, particularly with early matchlock and flintlock mechanisms. Production of muskets was relatively expensive, limiting their initial availability to well-funded armies. In modern times, muskets are often considered historical artifacts and are subject to different legal restrictions than contemporary firearms. Despite its limitations, the musket was highly effective in its time, offering a significant advantage over traditional melee weapons. The exact number is difficult to estimate, but muskets were responsible for countless casualties during the centuries they were in use. Overall, we rate the musket as a transformative weapon that changed the face of warfare in society. Thank you for watching this episode of Infernal History. If you enjoyed learning about the musket and its impact on history, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts and suggestions for future topics. The musket, despite its drawbacks, played a crucial role in shaping the modern world. It allowed smaller forces to conquer vast territories, altered the course of wars, and left an indelible mark on history. While its time has passed, the legacy of the musket lives on in the annals of warfare. Some cultures will honor this humble weapon, for it helped their ancestors create a new life in, for them, new nations. For others, it was the bane of their history, leading to the decimation of their way of life as they knew it, often wiping out a great percentage of its peoples in a very short amount of time. This culture ruin is still felt today, despite taking place centuries ago. Join us next time on Infernal History as we continue to explore the weapons that forged our world. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.